Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of a Family Affairs show. We are delighted to have with us Nivedita today. She is a special educator and she works with Shriram School. She's highly educated. She has completed many diplomas in early education and child education, and now she's working with them for the past couple of years. She loves dancing and she loves music. She loves her me time the most these days. I think that makes the two of us. Welcome, Nivedita, on behalf of Sabha and myself and the whole Family Affair team. We welcome you here. Nivedita, I'm your biggest fan. I cannot say I've never seen anyone who's always ever so smiling and ever so charming. When I feel depressed and I'm like, oh, look at her. She's always smiling. So, welcome. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule.
Hi, Richa. Thank you so much. It's the other way around. I'm feeling so honored and feeling really excited that you called me for an interview. I'm feeling so good. Thank you so much, Richa.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to have you here. We are going to talk about your book, Above and Beyond. I'm so happy I have my personal autograph copy. So, Nivedita, can we start with a small introduction of yourself about your journey?
Introduction, as in you've already given an introduction. I'm not highly educated, anyways. I had done child psychology and a few diplomas here and there to help me with the knowledge. And I am mother of my Medha, who's 28 years old. She is in the autism spectrum, and somehow I have embraced autism and I'm in love with autism. I i have a special inclination towards autism, and I celebrate autism. Actually, this is how. And for me, inclusion is my mantra in life. Why? Because it's not about including children with autism, but about us going inside their life, including ourselves in their lives, in children or adults who have autism. That is how I look at inclusion. For me, inclusion is that.
Wow.
So at present, I am actually in a daze after the launch of the book. Thanks to my husband who made it a big event, and I feel honored that it has happened. And so many well wishers and my friends came to cheer me up. That is my latest, which is on my mind. That culmination of all the learning and experiences have come out, and my book. Many friends had always told me, write a book on the experience. It'll help. But always I seem to be crossing one hurdle and getting prepared for the other. So writing a book looked quite impossible, a distant dream. Actually, not even a dream. How can you write a book? Yeah, let me solve the things, let me relax, let me enjoy. That's more than enough. But the only plus point of pandemic to me was I started writing my blog, which I
Wow.
converted into a book later. That
So,
is
so
what.
even you have a pandemic baby. People had actual babies. This is your baby.
Oh, that's
So we call
wonderful.
it
Very
a, yeah.
beautiful way of putting it, Richa. Thank you.
So, Nivedita, we keep hearing about a lot of things. So, I'll come back to my main question about autism after my first question. So, let's start with the book. So, why did you write it? I know you had some free time. So, was there an urge to document your journey, or you wanted to help people, or it was both, or it's just that you had that free time and you thought, why not? Let me just put my thoughts down. And what were the challenges and how did it fulfill you?
Okay, now coming back to why did I write my book? So you've asked a very valid question. Even if you ask me why did I write a book, I had to think about it. When I was converting my blog into a book, I thought, why am I writing the book? Now I go back to my earlier experiences. Whenever I cross one hurdle or one challenge, the strategies that I use with the help of others, definitely nothing can be done. As you say, that a village is needed to bring up a child. We need a village to bring up a child. So similarly, a lot of inputs, lot of help, and people reaching out to me helped me to do this. Now, when I started writing my blog, why did I start writing my blog? Because yes, I had some free time, and always my counselor Sheljasen and another a couple of other aunts told me, you must document. There are young mothers who will benefit from it. So when I never had the time, because we all of us are running, and when we are tired of running, we want to relax, but not do another activity, right? Writing a book or a blog. But I had enough time during pandemic. When I did all of these, still I had time to pen down my thoughts, and I started one day. I started writing the blog. A friend of mine said, for my friend's website, can you write something? So I wanted to do a favor to my friend to help her friend. As a result, I wrote a chapter, and it continued, and it became infectious. I continued writing, and after 20 chapters or so, some people who read the blog, they liked it. They said, why not create a book out of
Of course,
it?
I think there's so much to share, and I've just read a few pages, and I'm so touched, and it's full of pictures and so many small anecdotes. So, what were the challenges while you were writing the book? I'm sure it's not easy, because you're not an author.
No, I'm not an author. Even it's just sharing my thoughts, I would say. In
From
the
your heart.
when I was writing the blog, no, each chapter, it came to me like slideshow. One day when I started, the next day my hands were itching. When will I write the second chapter? And the third day I was sitting already on the fifth chapter. So I thought,
Wow.
maybe in 6 months I'm going to write one chapter. It went the other way. By 6 months I'd finished 25 chapters. So it was,
Wow.
then I realized there was this craving inside to share with people, that also to kind of give encouragement to people. There can be times when everything seems to be going wrong, nothing seems to be in your favor, and you just hang in there, you
Wow.
go with the flow and have the positivity, and suddenly you'll see that time has passed, and you've sailed through, and you are feeling much more stronger. This kind of feeling came again and again. So I would say that kept me going. That, I wouldn't say challenge. I don't think I faced any challenge. Once I started writing, I didn't face any challenge. It was only a pleasure. And in fact, I started feeling very, I patted myself. I remember so much. I did so much. So it was very reassuring for me. And also like a nasha that I was going on writing one after the other. That is how I felt
You
while
know,
writing.
one thing which I really love is chapter 12 is called finding joy in everything. That is something, which we all miss. I think we're always cribbing and complaining, and there's always so much of angst. I think that's the essence of life, I know, to be happy, finding joy in anything and everything. Thank you, Nivedita. This is so heart touching and so overwhelming. I'm feeling so inspired. And, I think you've done a great job by penning your thoughts. And it's written from the heart. It's a very simple thought. And what I really loved was that each and everyone who helped Medha and you have taken up time and have been a part of your life, obviously, but also been a part of the book. Is so well documented. It's a, ode to them as well. A big thank you for
Yes,
being and
very
doing
rightly
this.
said.
Yeah.
Rightly said, Richa. As I told you, alone I could have done nothing. So many people have contributed, not today, since the beginning when she was child, and we had no knowledge and we had no resources. We tried, and we tried, tested, fell down, experienced, learned from our mistakes, and went forward. So everyone helped me. If some hand could not, another hand helped me, so I had to reach out to them for their few words of their feedback, or their feelings, or whatever they wanted to share about Metha and their contribution towards Metha.
One second, Nivedita. I wanted to also ask you that, you have so many people in your life and you had a very regimented regime. How did you take out time to do so many things? I know we get the superpower to get things going, but where did that energy, that power, that, internal takat come from?
Intrinsic motivation. This is the word my son, who's learning psychology nowadays, keeps using. Mama, that intrinsic motivation is missing in me right now. Or say, okay, so suddenly I remembered that word. I think I'm blessed with that motivation within, that I have to do no matter what. If not today, tomorrow, but I have to do. The option of not doing or option of running away from something doesn't exist for me. So if I don't take this route, I have to take another route, but I have to reach where I want to reach. I always made short goals, not very long goals. And if something didn't work out, I worked on myself that it would not affect me. If it doesn't affect, if any failure doesn't affect you, or my kind of, you make a bubble around here so that it'll not let it affect you, then you move forward faster. That is what I learned with experience. Nobody taught me. I learned with experience. I worked on myself to do this. I think that helped me to energize myself. Energy milna usi mein hi mila mujhe. Not to get affected by disappointment or anything that others said or did. I cannot hear you, Richa. Richa, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Sorry, there was one crisis. I wanted to ask our viewers, can you see us? Because I just got a message that I we are not visible, but we are live. So if you can see us, please write one comment so that I know. But that's how I got little bit, fumbled in between. So just say a hi if you can see us. Yeah, so Nivedita, my second question is about autism. What is autism? We keep hearing the word, but in lay terms, we all know there are different kind of autism spectrum and there are different kind of definitions. So can you tell us in a layman,
Yes.
lingo, what is autism?
Just two things: communication disorder and social skills. They don't learn the way we learn. Actually, they need to be taught that. They need to be need to learn, like they have to be taught, like hand holding has to be done to help them speak, help them to communicate, just not utter words. Speak as in not just say words, to use the words meaningfully, comprehending the words. That ability is not there naturally in these children, and hence the social impairment. They can't interact socially. They don't know if somebody is saying something, how to react to it. So in a layman's language, I would say social and communication disorder, and it's a spectrum disorder. Few things are common, but many things are not common. A child here has autism, may have different features. A child here has autism, may have different features, different rate of progressing. So things are not same. You can have four children in the spectrum of autism, but having different sorry, should
No, no,
I
sorry. No, no, please
something?
start. There was some issue about the viewership. I think one can see now on the page. Yeah.
Are you able to see? You can hear
Yeah,
me and see me?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So what I was saying, that in layman's language, communication and social skills, the disorder is around this, and it is a spectrum disorder. Three children having autism may have different abilities. First, focusing on abilities, at the same time some challenges, because there can be a child who is hyperlexic, can see everything and learn and very fast. There can be another child who can be very good with numbers, but may not be very good with reading. But all may have some common features in with respect to social skills and communication skills.
Wow. We already spoke about compassion and about how we can be inclusive. So Nivedita, how can we start with me, with my family, like we as a family unit, because it's a family affair page. How can one person and me today, my family, everyone who's watching can start this movement? How can we be more compassionate and how can we look at inclusivity?
First and foremost, if you just come to the basic level, your child, her child, my child, we are all, we all have different unique qualities. Something I can do, something you can do, something you are not so good at, something I am not so good at. So I am not so good at talking, but I have something else. Or probably, but you're loved just the way your child is loved, the same way my child is loved. Okay, you are going to learn the way you are going to learn, even I am going to learn. Maybe the way of learning, the efforts will be different, but even you are going to learn, everyone is going to progress. That is the main thing we have to remember. Each one of us is different with our different challenges and different uniqueness and different abilities,
abilities. Yeah.
strengths. Yes,
So it's
we have
about
to focus on that. Yes,
it's about acceptance. It is
yes,
about seeing what is there and not emphasizing what is lacking. And as you said, it's a disorder. So you have to go beyond that and see what is working. And then be
yes,
compassionate, be normal, be nice, be warm, be yourself. You don't have to go out of your way. You have to just be. I think acceptance is the right word. You have to
right,
accept
yes.
with a
Right
smile.
attitude. If we have the right attitude starts with acceptance and love. And the moment you accept and you love and accept, it goes hand in hand. I don't think there can be any problem at all. There
Yeah,
can be
that
no problem
because
at all.
I've seen Medha, I've seen so many kids, and all they need is love, and all they need is confidence, and they need the reassurance that nothing's wrong with me. I'm normal. You have an issue. You have to change your outlook. I think that is the key. It starts with us. It is about our outlook, not theirs.
Yes, and also as I said earlier, it's not about including them in us with us, including ourselves in their world, including ourselves, understanding that the moment we reach out, the moment we step forward, things can be simpler and much better and easier, much easier, and it can be only love always. Spreading love always helps.
It grows and it also instills a lot of confidence. And I think as human beings we need to be more aware. I think awareness is what is lacking. I think now I'm quite happy that the schools and the education system is taking note, and they are making the right connects and processes. When we were younger, I'm sure a lot of kids had a
Yes,
lot of disorders and they
yeah,
had issues, but nobody even thought about it. Even now I see
exactly.
a lot of parents, their kids are not talking and they have certain anger issues, or they have certain, they get bullied, or they are depressed, or they are not doing the right thing, because you can make out. But I think acceptance is what is lacking. So
Yes, awareness is there, resources are there. At my time, when my daughter was so young, when 26 years ago, that was not there, so we didn't know. But now awareness is there. But if sometimes children, some parents are lacking that acceptance and say no, no, theek ho jayega, they're just wasting time and creating more. Denial really slows down the process.
you
Denial
can't live
slows
in
down.
denial.
No, it is only harmful for yourself and for the child. Accept there is some difficulty. It's not my fault. It's not the child's fault. The moment you accept this part, and what can be done? What can be done? What should be done? And this should be done. Let me start now. Let's not wait. And start. If this does A doesn't work, B will work. B doesn't work, C will work. It can never be possible that nothing will work. It will not
Of
be
course.
possible. And the
Yeah.
moment you see a little bit of success, little bit of progress, enjoy and pat on your
Celebrate.
back,
Yeah,
and yes,
celebrate.
celebrate and move on.
Like I see you, we make plans after 2 to 3 weeks or months, when we have to meet. But then when we meet, we do have a blast. So
Yes, no matter what.
yeah, Nivedita, I want you to share one or two favorite lines or parts from the book. I know every line and part would be equally important, but something to share. And also after that, I want you to talk about your journey with Medha.
Okay. See, it is, as you said very rightly, that obviously I've written it from my heart and it's a real story. So it's difficult for me to say that this is good and that is not good. Everything is good. But if I just flip over the pages, some things which I want to read again and again, I'm just picking two or three out of them. Okay. So as we just spoke about acceptance, when I was shadowing my daughter long time back, when she was just 4 years old or 5 years old, now she's 28, in a school, which in a nursery school, I was shadowing her, and that is the time I realized the difference between other children and my child. It is so important for you to not be blind to the difference. You have to see it, accept it. It's not that the teachers are just saying that it's difficult. It is the truth that it is difficult. So
Doesn't it
I
hurt?
just, sorry.
Doesn't it hurt when you see the differences?
Yes, it hurts. So again, it hurts. Then you ask yourself, yes, it hurts, but I have to do something. But with hurt comes that determination. I have to do something about it. I have to do something about it, because just like the other children, even my child is as precious, as beautiful, as loving and as dear to me. So so I have to do something about it. How long will we sit and say, why with my child, why with me? It doesn't help. So I will just read from chapter 6, 4 lines. I developed an insight on how other children behaved in various situations and how different my daughter was. I noticed minutely how others learned simple things effortlessly while my child could not even figure those out. Answering a direct question needed verbal prompts and assurance. So, this is not the case with other children. They learn it very easily and naturally. So the moment you understand, then you, when you observe this, you understand that there is a little bit of difficulty that my child is facing. So there must be some hindrance why she can't do it. So how can I help my child? So that is one thing. One more thing, when my another thing that I want to read from my book, that when you have another child, yes, when you have another child, it is also very difficult for the sibling to accept and move on. Okay. In chapter 17, one day while returning from school, my 6-year-old son started sobbing and refused to share why. Later, when we spoke, he shared that his friends had seen his sister at school and they made fun of her. I tried explaining to him that they were very small, but realized that even he was a small child. It must have been so painful for him. I hugged and kissed him. He ran to his sister, hugged and kissed her. So, it is as just 1 minute ago, Rich asked me if it hurts or not. It hurts. We die 100 deaths every day, especially initial time. Now I'm able to smile all the time. Earlier, probably I would be emotional after speaking to you for 5 minutes. But with time, you get hard skinned, it'll hurt, the hurt will not go, but you learn how to bandage your hurt, how to put a band-aid, how to get up, how to dust yourself and move on, and it's only good for you. Earlier you learn, better it is. I would like to read a poem written by my son, Medha's brother. What is on her mind she cannot clearly say. She's my sweet sister, smiling every day. Her keen round eyes are so bright and clear, they hold no resentment, no nervousness or fear. Just like a computer, she reads super fast, she spells and she types, her prowess not surpassed. All her memories are at her beck and call. Every song she hears, she always can recall. She has certain moods. These moods come and go for whatever reason she doesn't even know. Nonetheless, she smiles and brightens up my day. She kicks out all my problems, my worries go away. I wish her all the best to stay safe and strong. May she have a life happy, great, and long.
Wow. So beautiful, so touching. This is like really heartfelt. I think also for Rajit, it's been a journey from the instant you told us to now, being protective, being loving, being a part of the family. It's like a cohesive family unit. I think it can't be better. And, that day they interviewed, and it was the cutest thing ever. Very, very heart touching, heart
Okay.
melting.
Yes.
Nivedita, one question again, as a caregiver, it's very difficult to, maintain your own balance. So I have a friend, she used to take care of a mother who had Alzheimer's, and, we have seen caregivers around us. So you as a caregiver, what kind of pointers will you tell other caregivers? Because I think their mental health, their happiness, their fortitude, their, mental being is of utmost importance. So any guidance
Yes.
and tips for
Yes.
them?
Yes. See, long time back, right in the beginning, when I got to know that things are different, my child is different, and like she is not going to be like others, but that doesn't mean that she's not going to progress. She is going to improve. She will learn. Learning will not happen. That didn't come to my mind. All these things brings in the determination, the hurt, the determination, the resilience in you. Okay, but you are only a human being. After some time you feel exhausted. You do not, if you have worked very hard the whole day, you don't want to talk about that anymore because you have done your bit. So at that time you need to have time for yourself, as in have selected friends, hang out with them, you go for shopping yourself, you do something which makes you happy, and which we got to know the name of this as me time. Those days people didn't call me time, was not so common. Now it is very very common. So as my counselor, my family therapist Shelja Sen says, if you don't have your glass filled with water, how are you going to cater to others' needs? So first you take care of yourself. And for that, she used to go and she used to tell me always, every day you need to write down what have you done today for yourself. So this is something I
Oh,
started
wow.
practicing. Yes, about 15 years ago I started practicing this. That could be, sorry, following, taking up a hobby. It could be, I used to go for group music, music, vocal music group performances, or for plays and all during Durga Puja, or probably going out with friends for events. So these things, I just the way I planned and organized my daughter's day, I put these me times, entertainment times, and social time for myself in the routine. So I would suggest that, in this case, one parent has to take the lead, one parent has to be the backbone. So that parent also needs that time, me time. And so request the bigger, the joint family, or the other parent, or other support members in the at home, to give that
Support.
relaxing time to
Yeah.
the caretaker, the main caretaker. Because if you love the child, you have to take care of the caretaker. If you take care of the caretaker, you are indirectly contributing towards the child's development, child's progress. Have I answered your question to some extent?
Of course, I think there's so many more layers. So we have a question for one of our viewers. They are asking, can you suggest a good doctor for analysis and for diagnosis in Gurgaon?
See, there are many. I am associated with Children First.
Okay.
So you could go there. Children First is there in Gurgaon. There are other centers also. But you know what? If I suggest some place and it doesn't work out, sometimes
Out,
things
yeah.
don't work out. Even
Yeah.
if the expert is very good, somewhere you don't
Yeah,
get along.
gel. Yeah.
So, yeah, that doesn't mean that they are bad or you're bad or child is bad. Neither of them. It's just like a jigsaw puzzle. So there are other centers also. So
Nivedita
as of
will
now,
request you to be a guest author for our page. Keep writing and leaving some guidance for us, like, doctor names, centers. Like, there are a lot of people are looking for, OT specialists. I interviewed one child, speech specialist also earlier. So, it will be really great if you can just leave. And guys,
I
please remember, what works for one doesn't might not work for
yes,
the other, but that doesn't mean that that doctor or that therapist is bad. I
center.
think it's all about, I think there's a lot of angst. There's another question that this profession has now become to be a money making business. So how do we know that this is actually bona fide?
It's a very difficult thing to say. What is
Yeah,
not money making? Tell me what is not money making. If
yeah.
I am a teacher, okay, I am also getting money for my work, and I'm justified to get the money. So if a doctor who is treating a child, why is he not justified to get money? Tell me that. But as you say, if you have had an experience that a doctor is calling you and asking for money again and again, and probably you think it is not, because you know what, you
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 don't
you are
know.
already, yeah, you don't know, no, you are already in a very sad state of mind. You are fighting, you're working on your own anxieties. So again, if you feel, oh, usko to bas paisa dena hai, kaam to ho nahi raha, it might come to your mind. बहुत बार रिजल्ट दिखता नहीं है. You are going on giving inputs, but result doesn't come there and then. So you might feel पैसा देते जा रहे, काम नहीं हो रहा. That kind of thing can come to your mind. Trust me, पैसा दे रहे for expert opinion and diagnosis. मेहनत आपको करना है. उनके डॉक्टर या थेरेपिस्ट के काम से कुछ नहीं होगा. बहुत कम होगा, 10% होगा, 20% होगा. काम तो आपको करना है. बच्चा आपका है, आप बच्चे को समझते हो. You have to work hard. You have to work on a daily basis. You have to work, you have to find ways of working for betterment of the child, and go back to the doctor by saying, "Ki this, I had tried, this didn't work as a partner with the doctor." But still, if you are convinced that the doctor is only money minded, not interested in the review, then you have to change your doctor. Unless you have the rapport that you can ask the doctor, "Doctor, this is not working, tell me more, tell me how it is working." So it, you have to have faith. If you don't have faith, it is going to be very difficult. You run from doctor to doctor, you'll feel nobody is good. And you
Great.
have to work yourself, you have to work yourself. Just therapy, सुबह आधा घंटा speech, afternoon special education, और ओटी कर लिया, काम हो गया? नहीं जी, आपको करना है काम, बारी बारी में करना पड़ेगा.
It's
You
a
have to
never
take.
ending
Yes.
process.
And yes, the intensity of work will go down as the child progresses, but you have to do, initial years you have to put in that much of effort and hard work.
Guys, I wanted to share my screen and show Nivedita's pictures. I just want to just share this and show you. One second.
Richa, which picture are you showing?
Can you see these?
No, I can't see. They can see.
Yeah, they can see. One second.
Okay.
In share. Yeah, I think it's coming. So, guys, these are the pictures which we have ours together, and she's always smiling and always lifting us up. And we've had such great times together. I've learned a lot from her. There's another comment for you, Nivedita. Someone has written, "You're looking so pretty and you're always smiling. Thank you so much for taking out time."
Thank you so much.
So, Nivedita, I
Richa,
think this is.
sorry. Richa told me that I have to look good because I'm her guest. So I made that effort to put lipstick. Okay. Yes, Richa, sorry to cut you.
But
I
that's
think you've
natural for.
spoken.
I'm saying that's natural for you. You always look nice. So, guys, I'm gonna leave a lot of links about the book, how you can buy from Amazon. Also about the Facebook page where there's the whole, page dedicated to the book and the journey. Please have a look. I'll also be requesting Nivedita to keep, leaving few, contacts and numbers as and when is required with us, and keep connected to our group. So, thank you so much, Nivedita. Any parting thoughts, tips, and tricks? Anything which you want to leave us with? I know you've already shared so much, but like that one line which we read from your book, something for us.
Yes, let's celebrate imperfection. None of us is perfect. So are our children. If our child is specially abled, that person is just not perfect, just like any of us. Okay. So let's celebrate that. Let's give love. Let's accept that. Let's not, let's not, let's also fight our, choose the right battles to fight. Okay. Let's not think of anything which brings us down, anything which can stop us from making our effort. Let's keep going. Let's take breaks for ourselves. Let's take care of ourselves. Again, I remember something that Shelja and many others told me earlier, that in the aircraft they tell you to first wear your mask and then try to help others. I was told this 20 years back. Take care of yourself, then you think of taking care of your daughter. So take care of ourselves, love ourselves, and love imperfection.
Thank you so much. That was so, so, so apt. I'm going to leave with this line which Nivedita wrote for me. It says, "Richa, darling, you can do it." So, this is the inspiration she has, and she's always, always uplifting everyone. So, thank you so much. I wish you great success behind the book, and you've been a winner and a fighter in your life. Soar higher. I wish you and Medha both continued success and lot of victories and more books and more wisdom coming from you. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you
today.
so much. Thank you. This is sign language for thank you.
Bye bye. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for
Thank
watching.
you, everyone. Thank you, viewers. Bye.